this time I thought it was finally time to share my PS4, I was gonna say controller, my PS4 collection, and at the same time I might as well show you my PS5 collection because I only have 2 PS5 games. I thought about showing them with the PS3 because I have less PS3 games than PS4 games, so time-wise it felt like it would be better. But I just thought it was weird to show PS3 and PS5, so might as well add it to PS4 instead. So, having said that, let's just get started with the PS5. Get the short one out of the way. And it is going to be very short. First game, Final Fantasy 16. It's a great game. I had fun playing it. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't played it yet. You know me. So, but you know, like I said in my Switch video, if you've watched that, I haven't played many Final Fantasy games, but I do always kind of struggle with the idea of wanting to play them from Final Fantasy 1 all the way to 16 in order, even though you really don't need to. But there's just something about playing games in chronological order that interests me. So I don't know if I'm gonna stick to that plan, but at some point I'll definitely get to this game. And the other PS5 game is Stray. Now this one I actually have played. It's a very short game, super fun. You play as this cat, and you're going around some, I'm not gonna spoil it, but you're going around some environments and cities and stuff, and it's very fun. It's actually super fun to play, and honestly it's really short, so if you haven't played it, you should definitely give it a shot. Like, I think you can get the digital version for like $20 maybe, or probably even cheaper if you get it on Steam for a computer. Alright, well, that was my PS5 collection. This is why I didn't want to make a video specifically for this one, because it would be like 2 minutes long. Alright, so we're gonna start the PS4 collections again with games I have not yet played. So, like, I have stopped buying games before playing them, but there's so many that I bought because I was like, oh yeah, I'll play next. By the time I finished whatever game I was playing, it's not that I didn't want to play it anymore, it's just that there was something else I was more excited about. And this, well, it's Cyberpunk 2077. At first I had no intention of getting this after hearing about how bad it was at launch, but apparently that is not the case anymore. And the main reason I got it is because I watched the anime, and the anime really made me want to invest more time in this world. Even though I'm not that big into like cyberpunk kind of aesthetic, and you know, I'm more to fantasy kind of setting, but it still looks pretty good. And coming up soon is another kind of futuristic sci-fi game that I did enjoy, so I figured I'll give this one a try, although I haven't yet. Next one, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I've not played this one. I promise I've played games in this console. I did play Human Revolution though on Xbox 360, and I really enjoyed it. So this is why I got this one. It's still sealed. I haven't opened it yet, but fun story. Maybe I should keep that for the 360 video whenever that comes. But the reason I've played the previous game is because I did a playtest at Eidos, the company who's done these games, and you could get paid $35 per half day, or get some games out of it, and I was able to get I don't remember what it's called, but the collector's edition of the previous game of this, and that's the only reason I know about the series, and I really enjoyed it. So I figured I should try the sequel, which I do hear is pretty good also. Now here's a game I've actually played. Diablo 3. When I was a kid, I was very big on Diablo 2. I've spent literally thousands of hours on it, even though I never maxed the character. But when Diablo 3 came out, and that it was on console as well, I was excited because I did not have a computer that was good enough to run the game. And I played it, and I didn't enjoy it as much as Diablo 2, like most people, but I still had a lot of fun with it, and I loved running rifts after the story and just getting, Paragon levels. I don't know, I found that pretty chill. And I have spent a few hundred hours in this game, I believe. It's been a long time though, and I have not played Diablo 4 just yet, but I heard it was good, right? I think. So, looking forward to trying it out. Next up, that is, yes, Skyrim. This is the anniversary edition. I have played Skyrim many times. I love the Elder Scrolls series, and Skyrim is definitely the one I've played the most, just because it came at the right time of my life. I've gotten all achievements twice on Xbox 360. I've gotten all achievements on PS3. Then on this one, I've got almost all achievements. I kind of skipped the one for fighting the legendary dragon because I did not feel like grinding my stats to get to level 81 or so that you need for this. But I still enjoyed it, and what's funny is that right now I'm playing this on Steam because I do have what should I call it? Entry level gaming laptop. Well, entry level. It was like 1,200 Canadian dollars. So it doesn't play like the newest game at the top quality, but a game like Skyrim, it has no issues running. And I'm trying out to make Battle Mage this time. I've basically never actually made any sort of builds. I would just play with like a mace, heavy armor, a bit of restoration, and just whatever. Just blitz through the game. But yeah, I mean, everyone knows Skyrim, so now here's a game I haven't played much of. The Elder Scrolls Online. Now this game came at the wrong time of my life, unlike Skyrim, where I was not really gaming anymore. I went through a good 5 to 10 years almost, playing basically no games because games are not productive, so to speak. I mean, it's not wrong, but I went to the extreme of just not playing games at all, and I kind of regret it because now I feel like I've missed out on a lot. I did play this game. I think I've played through the main story, the base main story, and I mean, I enjoyed it. But if I'm gonna pick an MMO to play, I prefer Final Fantasy 14. But I do at some point I would like to play through all of this because it would be fun to explore the rest of Tamriel. On the same subject, that is the steelbook for the Morrowind expansion of the Elder Scrolls Online. I do have the big box, but I did not want to take it out. The reason I got this, even though I haven't played it, was because back then they were releasing with figures or statues at this point, and I really liked them. It was a good way of getting statues. I was planning on getting every single collector's edition that came out for the Elder Scrolls Online, but after the Morrowind one, Summerset one, which also came with a figurine. The other ones after it stopped. They stopped putting figures in them to make them cheaper, I guess. Saying that people didn't really want figurines, and so I stopped buying them. If I ever do end up playing this, I will at least get the other expansions, maybe not the big bucks, but the other expansions, so I can play the whole thing. The last of the games that I got in English is Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, which includes Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I have played Mass Effect 1 on the Xbox 360 when I was in high school, and I really enjoyed it, but then I didn't play any of the other ones, and it's been more than a decade, I think, since I played the first one, so I don't really remember anything. So when I got Cyberpunk, I also got this one, and just like Cyberpunk, I have not played this yet. And now I almost feel like I would prefer playing it on PC. Honestly, no. Right now I'm still a console guy, but you know, it just looks good on the computer, and it's so convenient and cheap to have everything on Steam. But you know, at some point I definitely will play it because I want to replay the first one and I want to see where the story goes from then on. Let's get on with the Japanese games. So, first one is Bloodborne. Now, you might be wondering why I would have gotten the Japanese version, considering the audio stays in English, and that's simply because it was cheaper. It was actually cheaper to import this than to buy it in Canada. Probably not by much. Maybe like it was $5 or $10 less. I think it was on sale, and of course the yen was very cheap. Although now the Canadian dollar is also cheap, so it's kind of the conversion rate is pretty normal, I think, between Canadian and yen. Even though if you're American, you still probably see the yen as being very weak. But over here, I guess we're weak as well. Bloodborne, you know, one of the Souls game, the From Software games, and I've played this a little bit. Then I got to a boss that was kind of like a giant hairy wolf kind of thing, like in a church or something, and I couldn't beat it, and I just stopped playing. I've had this with multiple Souls game. I've had this with Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring also. I love the idea of the games, but then I give up too easily and I end up barely playing it. I feel like this would be a game I could go through if I was like a streamer or something and doing it for content. But on my own, maybe one day I'll be able to get through them. I did play through all of Demon's Souls from start to finish, but I used a guide for that one, so you know, some people would say that doesn't count. Obviously I still had to do the things myself, but knowing the optimal order to do things does kind of help. And also knowing ways to cheese some bosses, like the spider boss in down in the mines in Demon's Souls, I mean. Now, we're about to go through 5 games that I have not played, so let's get through them quickly. Here I've got Disgaea 6. I've played Disgaea 4, I think, on the Vita, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, so I bought this one. Admittedly, it was on sale, that's why I had bought it, but yeah, at some point I'll get through it, and I know I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Next up, we've got The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 1. I have not played it because I haven't reached it. So, if you've watched my Vita collection, you know that there's the Trails in the Sky trilogy with 1, 2, and 3. I've currently played 1 and 2, and I've barely just touched 3 for like an hour or two maybe. Then after that there's 2 more games. I think it's Trails to Azure. What is it? Is it Zero? Zero no Kiseki? Trails of Zero, maybe? I don't know. There's 2 of them. And then after that, there's the Cold Steel series. But when I bought this, I had heard that you could just start here. And that is true. But as I've mentioned with Final Fantasy, I have this thing where I like to get into series by playing them in chronological order, or release order I should say. Basically the order it was intended to be played, especially in this series, since they all are direct sequels to each other, just maybe in different regions. But so that's why I got this. It was on sale, and I thought I could start here, but then I got it, and then I was like, you know what, no, I want to start at the beginning, and so that's why I have not played this yet. Then after that we have, well, Trials of Cold Steel 2. That's the second game of the Cold Steel series. Obviously, I have not played it either. Now, if you've picked up on the pattern, you can guess that the next game is Trials of Cold Steel 3. I really need to progress through the series. It looks so fun. I know that Garnt Gigik has been playing through the series and is just about to start the Cold Steel series, and he loves it as well. What sucks is I began before him, but I just haven't been playing much. I haven't been gaming all that much either. So this is Trials of Cold Steel 4, the last of the Cold Steel sub-series, but definitely not the last, the Legend of Heroes game. I think this is approximately the halfway point of the story, the overarching story. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I heard. Now, following the same pattern, the next game is Final Fantasy 14. So, not following the pattern. This one I actually have played, not the whole thing, but I've played the entirety of A Realm Reborn, the base game, and I've done it twice, because here's the thing, I got this game from Japan, because I thought I should have done my research, but I thought you needed to buy the Japanese game to have Japanese. That's not true. But the issue is that if you have the Japanese game, you need to have a Japanese credit card to renew this, or to have a Japanese region code, which you can only buy physically in Japan. They don't sell it online. So I could not subscribe after the trial period. So I ended up rebuying the game digitally, the North American version. But then the issue is that you can only have one account linked to your PlayStation account. So I had to make a new PlayStation Network account and then assign that to this new account. But then I can't obviously use my old characters, so I had to make a new character and play through it. But then I ran into another issue. I went on a Japanese server because I wanted to use this as an excuse to output and talk with the Japanese people. There's time difference between here and Japan, obviously. So the times where I could play, there was basically no one online. And so it was hard to progress through the dungeons that you need to progress. The ones that are not part of the leveling roulette. So basically, the ones, once you've finished A Realm Reborn, and then you do the patch quests that lead onto the next expansion, I was not finding anyone, and so I stopped playing. But I did really enjoy Fantasy 15. As you can guess, I have not played it, and so that is that. But the next one is Hatsune Miku, Project Diva, Future Tone DX. That's a mouthful. This is basically the Hatsune Miku Project Diva game to end all other games. I think it includes every single song ever released in a Project Diva game, and there's probably extra one as well. There's really nothing about it though besides playing the songs, unless it's changed since I've played it or if I'm just misremembering. But so if you want to play this just for the rhythm game and having fun playing some Vocaloid song, it's amazing. If you want like more of a story mode, so to speak, I mean it's not story mode, but like a campaign kind of thing, or I don't know what else you would want, but if you want anything but playing songs, maybe it's not for you, unless I'm remembering wrong. But even the back is only MVs and gameplay. So, but if you want to play this as a rhythm game, it's amazing. You've basically got the buttons from the controller just show up on screen, and you know, it's not like let's say like Guitar Hero or Rock Band, where you have like a line and the notes come to the line. It's not like that. They're going around everywhere on the screen, and it can be tough, especially if you don't know the controllers that well. But it's very fun. Next up, One Piece Kaizokumusou, or Pirate Warriors 3. If you like Warriors game, like the Dynasty Warriors games, or Hyrule Warriors, or Fire Emblem Warriors, whatever, yeah, you'll probably like this. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed playing it. I think this had non-canon ending, if I remember correctly. But that's kind of to be expected with these. I really hope that once One Piece is over, there will be one last Pirate Warriors game that goes from the very beginning all the way to the end. I think that would be pretty fun. Next up is a very big game. Persona 5 Royal. Or I guess the Royal. I love Persona. My first Persona game was Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. I actually bought a Vita specifically to play that game. Everyone was raving about it so much that they were saying like, if you buy a Vita just for this game, it'll be worth the money. And I agree, it was. I did end up buying more Vita games, but yeah. And then after that, I played Persona 3 FES. I got the digital version on PS3, and I really enjoyed that game as well. Then, when Persona 5 came out, I knew they were eventually gonna make a new version, so I decided to wait it out, and I'm glad I did because Royal was very good. I didn't enjoy it as much, but I think that's more to do with me than with the game, because I was kind of like struggling with the whole playing video games versus being productive with my time. Now I think I'd be able to find the right balance. Like if I do a certain like base amount of productive things, I would not mind spending the rest of the day gaming as long as I'm having fun. But there's also the fact that now, if you remember or if you've seen some of my other collection videos, I'm not very big on open world games anymore because they feel overwhelming to me, and this kind of had the same thing for me, in that it felt overwhelming with all the different things you can do. But it's not any different than the previous Persona games. That's why I say I think the issue is with me. it's like I need to feel like I'm spending my way in the most efficient way possible. So I played through this about halfway, and then I ended up stopping for a couple of years. But it wasn't only for that, it's also because I was playing it in Japanese, and my Japanese was not at a high enough level to play this and have fun at the time, so I just burned myself out. Then a couple years later, I picked it back up, and it was still kind of hard, but I understood way more, and it was enough to have fun and just need to look up a couple of words here and there, rather than looking like 2-3 words per text bubble. And what I did different this time is I decided, you know what, the game's a couple of years old. Let me follow a 100% guide and see if I enjoy it better that way. And sure enough, I did. I know a lot of people would find that to be a sin, to have your first complete playthrough, be with a guide. But for me, I actually liked that better because I guess it kind of felt like doing a canon playthrough. Like, this is the perfect canon playthrough, that you see everything that you can see within the game without having to replay it. And this is like the playthrough where everything goes right, so to speak. So it kind of felt like playing a linear game, because I wasn't making the decision, someone else was making the decisions for me. And I actually like this because I do like linear games. And it's not like it's not fun to play without making your choices, because, well, you see all the dungeon aspects, it's still you playing through it. And I think we all know how satisfying the turn-based combat in this game is. And for the rest, it was kind of like going through a visual novel, in a way, where you just, you have text, and you're going through it, and that's that, So, if like me, you find these games overwhelming, try following a guide instead, and see how it feels. If you don't like it, you can always stop, but you might find that you like not having all the options, or all the choices for you to make. Or maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. And also, feel free to lower the difficulty if you're playing mostly for the story. That's what I did. I think I played on easy. Like, I started on normal, but then I think at some point I was like, you know what? I'm not even finding this challenging. Let me just go on easy, make it go faster or something like that. I don't quite remember. And then we've got Persona 5 Scramble, one I haven't actually played yet, but I do want to play it. Like I said, I do like Warriors games, and this is, it's a bit different, but it's still based on Warriors games, so I know I love it. This is me from the future, coming back to say that I actually forgot to show 2 games. That is, what's the front? This. Persona Dancing. Now this includes Persona 3 Dancing Moon Knight and Persona 5 Dancing Star Knight. I have played a little bit of Persona 3 Dancing Moon Knight, but not too much. I didn't quite enjoy the songs that I played. So I've played Persona 4 Dancing All Night. And, by the way, I still think it's a lost opportunity that they didn't make a collector's edition for it, because it would, if you shortened the name, it would be Persona 4 Dance. D for dancing, A for all, N for night, and then CE for collector's edition. That would have been amazing. Anyways, I played that one and I really liked it. The story was fun, honestly, for what it was, and I really liked the majority of the songs. But in this one, it felt like they were, I don't know, they were less like dance music. I guess maybe I just didn't play the right ones. Also, there's no story mode, really. It's kind of like doing social links in a way, and that's about it. I do want to go back and play them. Like, they're not long. I think you can beat each of them in 10 hours or less. And then I didn't try Persona 5 because at the time I had not played Persona 5 yet, so I didn't want spoilers. I think this might come with a code for the downloadable version of Persona 4. But if I remember, Persona 4 Dancing All Night, but if I remember correctly, it didn't come with trophies. Or maybe it did, and I just didn't like not having the game a physical version. But yeah, and this comes with a soundtrack as well. Well, if you know me, you know I love nice looking cardboard boxes on my shelves, so of course I had to get this. Also, I really like all the, what is it, like stars? Yeah, little stars, holographic stars on the back. Yeah, it just looks really good. So yeah, I guess let's get back to the regular video. Next up, we've got Tales of Berseria. I love the Tales series. I've played a bunch of games. This one is not one of those. I have not played it yet. I do hear it's pretty good though. Next up is a Tales game that I have played and finished. Tales of Arise. Now, this is not my first Tales game. And so like, I don't want to generalize, but I think most people who didn't start with this game do not think it's the best one ever. I will say the combat was probably one of the best ones, the best one I've played, and it is up there in like my top 5 for sure. And no, I have not played only 5, and that's why it's in the top 5. I've played a few more than that. But how can I say this? I guess the story got way too convoluted. It got too difficult. Just like, it was hard for me to try to say that word. The story was very complicated. And not necessarily in a good way. Also, I thought the last dungeon was just way too long. And it kind of left me with a bit of a sour feeling towards the game. But it was fun. I liked the characters in it. And the gameplay was just very fun. And it is a good Tales game, so if you like Tales, you should play it. And if you've never played a Tales game, you might as well start with this one. It's a pretty good one for beginners as well. Next up, we've got Valkyria Chronicles 1 Remastered. Now, I haven't played this particular copy. I did play the original one on PlayStation 3, and honestly, I really liked it. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed the story, and I don't know, it kind of blew my mind when I played it. So when I saw this on sale, the remastered version, I decided to get it, and at some point I will definitely play it, but that time just hasn't come yet. It's a kind of like, how can I explain this? It's a turn-based, like a grid-based strategy game, but when you pick the character, instead of just deciding where it moves, you actually gain control of that character, and then it becomes a third-person shooter kind of game, and you can move a limited amount and do a limited amount of actions, the same as if you were just moving the piece, but you just gain control of the character. And I thought that was a really fun concept, and it worked very well. Next up, Valkyria Chronicles 4. I have not played that, and from what I know, you don't need to play 2 and 3. I don't even know what consoles those games are on. I think on PSP or something, which I don't have. But yeah, I have not played this yet, but if it's anywhere near as good as the first game, I'm gonna love it. Next up, we've got Yakuza 0 or Ryuga Gotoku. Ryuga Gotoku 0 Chikai no Basho. Listen, I do not want to ruin my perception of this game by playing it when I was not in the mood. But just to give you an idea of how far I made it, obviously I know him. I have not seen him yet. So if you've played the game, you know approximately how far I was. I didn't make it to the first boss fight, which I kicked my ass. But I think I was not like countering or dodging enough. I was kind of just walking away instead of like using the X button, I think it was. But yeah, it was fun, and I do look forward to playing more of this in the series. Now, the second to last game is Yuru Camp. Have a nice day. I think that's what, yeah. Have a nice day. How nice of them. As you can see, it's shrink wrapped. I have not played this yet. If you've watched the Switch video, it's kind of like the Konosuba one in that it comes in a nice box. Actually, let me get the box. I don't know why I didn't get it. So it came in this nice box here with some great artwork, and I love having this on my shelf. I mean, I love Yuru Camp. It's a very chill, relaxing anime, and with all the nature scenery on it, it just looks great. I mean, it's a way to have Mount Fuji in my room, technically. Then, you know, here in the back is really nice. And it did come with this little figurine, but I don't really care about it. That's not why I was getting it. But yeah, I have no idea what the game is. I think it's some shitty visual novel. I mean, one day I'll try it when I'm bored, but yeah, this one I don't regret getting, even though I haven't played the game, just because I really like the box. Yeah, sure, I could just print something, but you know. I said that was the second to last game, but I just realized I forgot a game because it's a collector's edition, and I have apparently not taken the game out of the case, so it wasn't on my shelves. But technically this should be the last game, but I don't want to end again on a game that I haven't played, so I decided to skip the true second to last game to go to this one first, and that is XIII. What is this? Not the Monstrum Nox. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. Look, you hear this? Texture. This is normal. This is not texture. So cool. Hopefully that wasn't too loud, but yeah. I have not played this one. I know, right? Again. But, well, first of all, the design of the box is so cool. And the reason I got this is because of the next game I'm going to show you, which is XIII Lacrimosa of Dana. And this, what do I say about this game? It shot right up into my favorite games of all time. This was so much fun to play. I admit by the end, the combat had gotten a little bit repetitive because there's not much variation to it. But nothing will, or almost nothing, can beat the feeling of first getting into the overworld and you start fighting enemies with Adol. Oh my god, I blanked on his name. With Adol, and the really cool badass music starts playing, and it just felt so satisfying. Like, basically this is an action game. You start on a boat. Adol is coming back from a previous adventure, and then the boat gets attacked by some giant squid or something, and the boat crashes onto a deserted island, so to speak. I don't want to spoil, but and then you basically have to go around around, build a base, and try to find all the survivors, while you also learn about Dana and her people from this island. And then this mysterious island happens to have dinosaurs on it. There's a reason for it, but again, I'm not gonna spoil it. But there's dinosaurs along with other regular type of enemies, and it was so fun to play. I thought the story was pretty interesting, actually. Some parts might have not made too much sense, but overall, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed finding more about the connection between Adol and Dana, and I think the game was like 60 hours or so. But yeah, honestly, if you like JRPGs and you like action games, you should really, really give this one a try. I don't know if it's the best Ys game because it's the only one I've played, but I do know people rank it amongst the best ones, and yeah, ever since I played it, it's definitely in my potentially top 5 games of all time, and if not 5, then at least 10 for sure. And yeah, okay, so that was the last game, is what I would say. But I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna be lazy. I went and got the Elder Scrolls Online Collector's Edition so I can show them off a bit, so I can try at least. So here's, it's so big. Here's the Morrowind one. I have to back off if I want to do. There we go. This is so big. No, I did not get this statue because that I did not want to get, but you can kind of, yeah, you can see it here. If I can avoid the reflection, it's a pretty big statue. If you've ever gotten scale statues or figures, it's basically the same size as a 1/7 scale, except well, in height it's about the same as a 1/7, but it is so massive sideways as well. Comes with a map, of course, and I'm assuming that's an art book. I can't really see right now, but yeah. Does it look different inside? I don't remember. Oh, it's kind of like it's like the steel book. Well, no, it's not. There's actual text on it. That's kind of textured a little bit. Or it's just a different texture, I guess, rather than being textured. So that is the Morrowind Collector's Edition. Or, Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. There was one for actual regular Morrowind, and then the other one for Summerset. I think it looks great as well. I don't know what this is, but I like that. I like the what is this, like ivy growing on a wall design. I think that's really cool. And here you can see the figure here that comes with it. It's I think that's one of the Lord, maybe. Mephala. It's the Mephala statue. There we go. Also comes with Razum Dar's journal. No idea who that is, because like I said, I haven't played it. And then there's the map of Summerset and collector's steelbook packaging, which you have seen that before. Here's this side. And the back. That's what I was wanting to show. Man, there's so much reflection. is out. And I heard that if you cannot get sunlight in the hour that you wake up, this is better than nothing replacement. But now I have it pointing at the wall, the white wall, which is reflecting light on me, so it's making things brighter, because otherwise you couldn't really see my face. Not that my face is what needs to be looked at here, but the games were also hard to see, so now it's better. Let me just check. Do I know? Does it say the name of the statue? Okay, for the other one, it's the Colossus statue. It's one of the Dwemer creations stuff, and this has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. But I had this on top of one of the collector's editions, so there you go. An Assassination Classroom binder. I don't think schools would like it very much if kids came in the school with this, but yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. This is probably the longest video I've ever recorded. Maybe I'm wrong though, I don't remember, but at least since coming back to YouTube, it is definitely the longest one so far. When I get to the manga video, that one, I'm honestly thinking of making it multiple parts for the manga video, because it is gonna take forever. Either that or showing only the first volume of each series, and then maybe putting a picture of the rest while I'm talking, because otherwise I could spend like an hour just showing all the One Piece volumes. But anyways, that is a problem for another day. So if you have any recommendation for PS4 or PS5 games, let me know in the comments. Like I've said in the other videos, chances are it's already in my wish list, because I have hundreds of games on my wish list. But there is a chance that I don't know it, or that it is low in my priority list, and that you recommending it might make it go much higher in my priority list. So, you know, if there's a game you really like and you think I would like, let me know. So that's gonna be it.